We're seeing a lot of claims about Derek Chauvin's sentence and how long it'll be, and a lot of them are wrong. So let's verify. How long could Chauvin be behind bars? Our sources, court records and rules, and 3 legal experts. Chauvin was convicted of all 3 charges, but in Minnesota, they don't add those together. He'll only serve time for the most severe charge, second-degree murder, which carries a maximum sentence of 40 years. But Minnesota uses sentencing guidelines, and for someone with no prior convictions like Chauvin, the recommended sentence is only 12.5 years, with a range of 10.5 to 15 years for the judge to pick from. Judge Cahill can extend the sentence beyond 15 years with what's called an upward departure, but only if prosecutors present evidence of aggravating factors. It's rare. In 2019, only 1.4% of Minnesota cases ended in an upward departure. But prosecutors in Chauvin's case are asking the judge for a longer sentence, citing 5 factors: that George Floyd, handcuffed, was particularly vulnerable, that he was treated with particular cruelty, that Chauvin abused a position of authority, that he committed the crime as part of a group, and that he did it in front of children. Typically, the jury decides if those aggravating factors exist, and then the judge will consider it during sentencing.
I'm willing to waive it and have Judge Cahill decide on those issues.
In this case, Chauvin waived that right.
So basically, I will be answering those verdict form questions instead of the jury.
It's all up to Judge Cahill if those factors exist and if they should mean a longer sentence.
It's really probably a matter of practicality. We kind of implicitly know they've also said those factors are present.
That's law professor Rachel Moran.
Judge Cahill does have a fairly wide range of sentencing possibilities available to him.
They'll hold a sentencing hearing where evidence of Chauvin's past could come up.
Both parties have the opportunity to advocate for a specific sentence.
That's law professor and former U.S. Attorney Rachel Paulos.
How many years might the state request?
I don't have a sense of exactly how much time they'll request, but I think they'll want to send a message to the public and to law enforcement.
I do think Judge Cahill is going to be very likely to go above the guidelines.
That's law professor Ted Samsel-Jones.
I think a sentence of 20 years is what I would expect.
Do you think there's a chance the judge gets anywhere near 40 years?
I would not want to speculate on that, Gabe, but I think it would be highly unusual.
So we can verify Chauvin's sentence could be anywhere from no prison time up to 40 years. But our experts say it'll likely be much closer to that recommended range, 10.5 to 15 years, even if Judge Cahill goes above it. Bear in mind, in Minnesota, offenders only serve 2/3 of their sentence in prison and the last third on parole. Chauvin is now behind bars, awaiting sentencing in 8 weeks. With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.